Welcome to today's episode of Work and Travel TV. I'm Leah Bolton, the host and creator for the show that helps adventurous types like you see the world and make money at the same time.
Oh yeah!
Welcome back. A bit of a different format for this week's show. Coming up, a bit of insight into working and traveling with event marketing tours from myself as an expert this week. And some of you know me, some of you don't. So a bit about me, why I put this show together. The biggest reason was to help others out there work and travel in the world, like I did, of course. You can't put a price on the experiences and adventures, the places I've been to, the people I've met, the most important. You have one life to live, and instead of dreaming all the time, I wanted to give some of you the opportunity that I had out there in the world to make it happen. Most of my work and travel experience comes from cruise ships, of course, and event marketing tours. But on Work and Travel TV, we do explore all sorts of different ways to work and travel in the world from different experts out there, which is nice. If you have a dream, chase it. That's my advice. There is always, always, always a way to get there. My travel tip of the day for you is the most important key that has never led me astray out there in the world. Network with people. Be a pleasant person out there in the world. Can't go wrong. The more friends you make, and the more people you help, it will ease your journeys greatly. Trust me. Expect nothing in return and you will realize that it will return, sometimes in a different shape or form, but it will return. Sometimes in the form of a hotel upgrade by the front desk attendant, or by an upgrade to business class on your flight by the check-in agent, or even a couch to stay on by a brand new friend that you made out there in the world. Or a tip on how to save a few dollars from a local in town just because you were nice. Whatever it may be, the golden rule when becoming a successful traveler out there in the world is to treat people with respect and bring your positive attitude to the world. Simple as that. Can't go wrong. So that being said, today's expert is me, myself. Currently, I'm a television host, videographer, and editor for a local Peace Region half-hour television show. But in my free time, this is what I do. In my former lifetime, for a couple of years, I spent some time working on event marketing tours across Canada, for example. I was a brand ambassador, a marketing coordinator, and a tour manager. Not all at the same time, of course, but separate occasions there. So I'll give you the highlights in the rundown. So first of all, a bit about event marketing tours. There's so many to name, so many different types, but basically you get hired by a media or a marketing and promotions company who in turn is hired by a client to promote their product, service, or event. For example, I was hired by Cossette Communications in 2006 to work for Bell Canada on a giant blimp tour for 6 months on the road. Also, another promotions company for Ontario Tourism, I was hired for a giant snow globe tour and a mountain tour for Seba Vision across Canada. So all in all, sounds strange, but definitely a lot of fun. A typical day on an event marketing tour entails, well, there's not really a typical day, but you can definitely expect to have a ton of people interaction. That's mainly what it's about. You are the person, the voice of the company. So if you don't like people, probably not something for you. You're going to be promoting your client non-stop through whatever you do, events, creative event setup, activities. For example, the giant blimp, or Bell Lightship as we called it, sometimes we actually went on the blimp and hosted rides for contest winners and VIPs. Pretty cool. Other times we spent time playing games in different towns, giving out free stuff for the company with their name on it. Other times riding around on branded Vespas, and other times setting up events in town like barbecues to have more people involved. 21 cities and towns in BC and Alberta, 1 week in a new hotel, for 6 months straight. So kind of a cool thing. There was another tour, for example, the Ontario Tourism Giant Snow Globe Tour that I did to promote winter activities and tourism in Ontario. It was a giant inflatable snow globe display that our team brought to 5 different cities, again living in hotels nonstop. We had 4 to 5 people inside the snow globe acting out different activities: ice skater, hockey player, one in the sauna, pretty cool, some ice wine drinkers, while the rest of the team promoted the company outside and answered questions about tourism to the general public. One thing about event marketing tours, always expect to be doing interesting things. You never know what you're going to get yourself into. How I first got into event marketing? Well, I was looking for something to do to make money after working on cruise ships. I'm still interested in traveling, but I wanted to get my feet back on land for a while. Happened to run across an ad on Craigslist and I went from there. There's pros and cons to working for event marketing tours, as always. Some things you might want to know before deciding to get into this. Well, obviously the pros are you can make great money on contracts. Your accommodation's usually included. You often get per diems for food, so a food allowance, and the use of company vehicles and sometimes gas cards as well, which is really nice. So you really don't have a lot of expenses out there, and you also get to meet some really awesome people as well. Now the cons, well, again, you're going to be spending a lot of time away from home. But if your goal is to work and travel, then that really isn't a con at all, and that's why you're here. Also, you need to have people skills. As I mentioned, you're going to be talking to people non-stop and dealing with them. You need to be patient enough to answer a lot of the same questions over and over again, as well as troubleshoot problems along the way. So there you go. For those out there who are interested in event marketing, my advice is, well, like I mentioned, great place to start is a place like Craigslist. You can check in your own town or city, check under jobs and category, marketing, promotions, advertising, and try typing in keywords like event marketing and tours, see what comes up. If you can get hired by a local or big name promotions and marketing agency, they will contract you out to different companies. So sometimes you never know what's coming up. Also check out simplyhired.com or simplyhired.ca and punch in keywords there as well too. Sometimes that helps. All in all, some great experiences, and I got to see a ton of Canada that I had never seen before. I also met some great friends and made some pretty decent money along the way, which is always good news. All in all, some great experiences, and I got to see a ton of Canada that I had never seen before. Also, I met some pretty awesome people along the way and made some great friends. That's it for today's episode of Work and Travel TV, the show that helps adventurous types like you see the world and make money at the same time. In the next episode of Work and Travel TV, well, it's going to be a surprise for both you and I, so we'll see how it goes. Sometimes the fun about having new adventures is the surprise and randomness that comes with it. I'm Leah Bolton, and thanks for watching.